Dear 30-plus-year-olds, what would you tell people in their 20s? Relax a bit, nobody else's timeline is right for you, and it's okay if you don't have everything you want yet, just do the best you can and enjoy the ride. The reality is that your friends and acquaintances are going to start getting into serious relationship, they are going to get married, they are going to start career, and they are going to have kids. Please don't stress out thinking, oh god, I am falling behind, and that you are some failure because you are still working a retail job after getting your degree. Personal experience. It will all make sense one day, and I am not being wishy-washy here. I figure out that I wanted and set my own timeline. Nobody gives a real shit about you. By that I mean whatever happens with you over your life will matter to people inside your close social circle. Your stress nights, overnights about what your boss thinks, what your teacher thinks, how what you did last week will follow you for the rest of your life. We are not Johnny Depp, and 10 seconds after leaving no one will have a throw for you until they need you again. I might seem a bit pessimistic, but don't go hurting yourself in the long run for things you eventually found out won't matter. And I'll finish at that. You decide what matters. Don't know if I articulate this well, but here goes. The older you get, the more you realize how ridiculous it is that human beings are expected to make important decisions about the future at a very young age. You are essentially supposed to choose your career when you are 15-18, and at that time you have no idea what you actually want, what you are good at, and what will be most fulfilling in the long term. Trust me, you don't. These things come with time. So if you feel like you completely messed up your life and your career or school isn't what you actually want to do in life, it is not the end of the world. You didn't fuck up everything. You just didn't know what you wanted out of life before, and now you do. You can still take action and correct your course. Time speeds up. Think Interstellar. 10 years in 30s feels like 5 years in 20s. It's annoying how many of the cliches are coming true along these lines. I feel like I blinked at age 26 or so and how I am suddenly approaching 30. I was recently talking with an elderly family friend who is approaching 80, and she said that she still basically remembers, feels like she is in her 20s in some ways, insofar as certain personality traits are concerned anyway. Weird thing to process. There is also that middle-age threshold and source of many a midlife crisis where it starts to sink in that you'll never be young again. That you may still have youthfulness or feelings of youth, but you won't actually ever be young again, and that can be dozy to process as well. One way to mitigate the time dilation feeling a bit though is to always keep exploring and trying new things and putting yourself out there and embracing change and certain amount of volatility. It is when you get to set on a particular routine or sense of, okay, this is who I am and what I do, that the feeling really intensifies. Quit smoking. I quit smoking thanks to the patch and podcasts. Edit. For those asking, I don't remember the name of the podcast, but some good fiction podcasts I am into right now are Solar, Tower 4 and Overleaping. You're not old when you're 25. You're not old when you're 29. 30 only seems old because you viewed it as old when you were young. Don't tell yourself that you failed to live out your dreams at 30. You failed to live out your dreams when you stop chasing them. You don't need to do anything important by the time you're 30. Take care of your body. Alcoholism is real. Obesity is real. Drug addictions are real. You may feel invincible, but it all comes back to haunt you. Quite a few people I grew up with have died in their late 20s and early 30s because they didn't take care of themselves. Replying to this to tag along with this idea. Lift with your knees and hips and watch some YouTube videos on how to properly support your back at the gym. Exercise now. Be in shape and eat healthier now. It only gets harder. Also, don't compare yourselves to others. I was doing that throughout my 20s and it didn't not help my mental state. We all have our own path. Go down that path as best you can. Stay fit, don't get unfit. It's easy to go one direction, hard to go the other. To add to this, in my early 30s, I was working full-time while going to graduate school part-time and raising a family. In a 2-year period, I gained around 60 pounds from the stress alone, and my mental and physical health took a big hit. I am doing a lot better now, but it took me another 2 years just to drop the way back down to where I was, and I still don't feel like I am physically fit as I used to be. There is nothing more discouraging than stepping on the scale and seeing you have lost 20 pounds, only to then realize, fuck, I am still fat. Don't let yourself go. Stay in shape and keep that habit up. The idea that 20s are the fun times before you hit real adulthood is not true. Do not feel bad if you are stressed out and thinking you are doing it wrong. Establishing your path in life is way harder than following the path. Most people I know consider 30s their favorite decade because you know who you are, what you want, and how to do it. Don't wait, find a way to do the fun stuff now. I agree with this. You are not always going to be physically capable. If you find shortcuts, take them. Do not rot in a job just to get by. You may be late or just prior to retreatment. There is no loyalty there. Maintain your friendships. I'm single and I wish I had maintained acquaintances just so I would have a better chance at meeting someone through someone. Online dating is so bad, lol. Floss your teeth thoroughly before going to bed. I'm very healthy and take care of myself overall, but this is my biggest challenge. Even got a white prick to make it easier. But still don't use it because something in my mind just refused to let me floss my teeth. Don't have kids till your 30s. Take the decade for yourself. You don't have to travel if you don't want to, but explore your city's different cultures. Meet new people. Check out your city's meet-up options. So many things to learn about the place you live. Experiment with your sexuality as much as you like, but never without the consent of all parties involved. Don't throw yourself in your career. Agree to certain house and take the rest of your time for yourself. Realize that your behavior is a reflection of you. How you treat people is being watched. You just never know by who. Always behave with integrity. Behave in a way that will make the most important person in your life proud of you. Learn to cook. Get into healthy eating and exercise habits now. Make them a priority. Figure out your boundaries and how you want to be treated. The hardest person to stick to the boundaries will be you. But if you don't compromise them, you will hopefully develop full and rich relationship. Find a good therapist. Shop around if you have to. Do the work on yourself so you don't bleed all over friends and family. Get a hobby, maybe 10. There is never anything wrong with learning. Quit smoking, cut back, quit the booze, take care of your body, especially your back and your teeth. Open up a saving account. You don't need the newest piece of technology every year. Cut any toxic people out of your life. Look after your teeth, very expensive and painful to fix. My life at 30 was not great. My life at 40 was awesome. Some are late bloomers and it's fine. Also time files, so enjoy the good moments when they come. Don't miss on important stuff for manual stuff. i.e. don't skip quality time with your friends who should be there for you in 10 years for spending time at your job for a company that won't know you ever exist once you are out of the door. 30s are easier because you generally aren't as stressed out as much about your mistakes. 20s are making mistakes. You are doing okay. You may not feel like that all the time, but you should remember to give yourself credit. 10 years ago you wouldn't be able to handle your life nearly as well as you can now, and 10 years from now you would be handling things ever better. The bad news is you'll never notice your improvement expect on years long time scale, but you should know it's there. Just keep going and don't worry about it so much.